Welcome back, everyone. We are back with the World Cricket Championship 3. This is going to be me, Dr. Dang, and along with me today is going to be Captain Price. So, how are you doing, Price?
Well, doing great. Cricket is something that we have been seeing for a long time and also playing. Might just add, since I believe 3 or 4 years old, when we learned that there's something called a bat and a ball. This game, it's absolute madness in the Indian community.
Well, that is definitely true. Cricket has been a game and will always be a game that is intertwined with, general family dynamics of the Indian subcontinent, and every single country that we have around us as a neighboring country, has the fever that cricket brings to the table.
That's true. I believe it was, today it is actually the 10th year anniversary of the last time that India lifted the World Cup, if I'm not mistaken. Where the captain of the Indian cricket team, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, did finish off with that beautiful helicopter shot. If you remember, that was exactly 10 years ago from today. And look at it. Now we are having the semi-finals and finals of the biggest esports cricket platform provided by Skyesports.
Well, that's true. Sky Sports is gaining a lot of traction in a lot of places now. If you think about it, this is a mobile game that we have caught up with. We've picked up some PC games as well, and we're going to be expanding a lot. So, I think that price today is going to be the semi-finals for the World Cricket Championship 3. How excited are you, and what are you going to be expecting from the four players that we have out here today?
Well, I just expect competition because when it comes to esports, it's always about that little thing. There is competition, there is battle, there is fight, and in the end, there's a winner and loser, and that I believe is everything at stake here. The winner has to be the best are the best in the entire tournament, and I don't know who's it going to be because all the four players that are going to play in front of us today, they're absolutely massive and magnificent.
Well, that's true, exactly. So we are going to be seeing, the prize pool that we have for this tournament. It's going to be 30,000 for the first place, 10,000 for the second, 5,000 for the third and the second, or sorry, the fourth and the fifth players are going to be getting 3,000 and 2,000 each. So the total prize pool is 50,000. But don't be scared because this is not going to be a one-time prize pool. This is only for the
Hmm.
March bracket that we have. We're going to be having an April bracket,
Yep.
a May bracket, and a June bracket. So 50,000 each for every single one of those rounds.
Well, that's amazing. 2 lakh rupees at stake and 50,000 rupees, just for participating in an esports cricket championship. Like, who would have thought this would have, turned out to be this way? But yes, when it comes to a 4 month long journey, this is just the starting. This is the March championship happening right now. We have April, May, June, and I believe, this is one of the best opportunities that the players who like to sit back at home and play the game of cricket on their PCs will be having a chance, at the esports world here.
Exactly, that is definitely going to be true. So let's run you over the bracket that we have today with us. So it's going to be Chetan King taking on Bhaskar, and it's going to be Bahut Marunga taking on Paris and Price. Me and Spiro had a laugh yesterday with that name, Bahut Marunga, and
Yep.
he did live up to his name. He actually did hit a lot.
Well, honestly speaking, I was, having a chat with the admins that who was one of the best players that was coming up, and turned out to be that Bahut Marunga and Bhaskar 143. These two are the possible contenders of those, two spots in the finals. However, we should know that Chetan King and Paras, both of these players, they will be equal competition to the others, and who knows what's going to happen. Things can go wrong, like maybe you miss a shot, maybe you have just one ball to score 6 runs, like, and you just completely mess it up, just ended up in a four, not a six, and things can go south at any point in time.
That is true. Sometimes the four and the six, people think that as long as you're getting those boundaries, things don't make any difference. But sometimes that four could have been a six, and that could be the difference between you winning a game and you losing. And the players that we have today, all four of these, Chetan, Bhaskar, Paras, and Bodh Marunga, all of them have that potential, especially Bhaskar. He clearly had the biggest total yesterday, I believe 126
Hmm.
for four in the
126.
5 overs that was there. And yeah, I think that this is going to be great. So it's going to be semi-finals first coming up. Then it's going to be the finals. And yeah, let's run you over the rules. So the semi-finals, 5 overs, as usual, 10 wickets, score as much as you can. Second innings has to catch up. The finals, though, are going to be a 10 over game. So there is going to be some chance for the bowling as well as the batting side to, have some connection with each other. Maybe have a few fast overs, maybe have a few slow overs.
Well, kind of in the entire first phase of the World Cricket Championship we have seen, the highest total was achieved yesterday. Will we get something similar to witness today? Will we get even more runs getting scored by one of the players? Because every stage we move on forward with the tournament. Like yesterday, it was the quarterfinals. Today we are having the semis, and I think there's a much better shot at scoring a higher number, but then there are better fielders, better players as well, and you never know, like what the defending team, I mean the bowling team, will be coming up with.
That's true. I think in the 5 over semi-finals, we are not going to be seeing too much of a difference because you're going to be having the same overs, but at the same time, you will be having a better competition that you're playing against. Again, that is kind of better competition, as you can say. But at the end of the day, it will really depend on whether it's going to be a good game for the players who are coming up or not, because there were no easy players in the quarterfinals. And yeah, let's see whether we are going to be seeing a new high score today, at least in the semifinals, because I guess in the 10 over finals we might just see that.
Well, I think we'll be seeing that because 5 overs, 10 overs, that's double the number of balls you'll be able to bat off against, and there you can see Chetan King versus Bhaskar 143 will be coming up, and I believe the toss is going to be done, and let's witness what's going to happen.
Well, it's going to be a dusty pitch, so it's going to allow the ball to skid a little bit, and that could be a problem for the batsman, because if you have a fast bowler, you are going to be able to use that to your advantage. You will be able to slide that ball in, especially for spin. There will be a lot of grip on the initial bounce. So I think that with spin as well as fast, the bowlers are going to be having a great time. But sometimes it's just about timing. If the batsman is able to understand how the ball is going to react, it just becomes his game as well.
Well, that's true, and there it is. We can see the openers will be coming in, and there's quite a difficult setup coming in from the bowling team. There, well, I'm really curious to watch as to what bowling style will be used here by the bowling team. However, one more thing you should be concerned about is that the positioning of the players, and as you can see, long off is going to be a very very strict position to be held down, because once the ball gets down, it's going to be over. Well, there comes the first delivery, and it's going to be a shot towards the boundary. I believe it's going to be a sixer, if I'm not mistaken. Well, there it is. That's the opening shot here, coming in with a sixer, and Bhaskar 143. Well, he has definitely making a mark out here.
Well, the first ball gone for a six. Here comes the second one. Similar placement, similar shot, and a similar result. Well, I can see what Chetan is trying to do. He's trying to force that ball onto the leg side where he has those players in the outfield, but it's clearly not worked out. The ball is just too slow, and the elevation and the power gotten by the batsman is really high. But this time it looks like it might just play into his favor. Yes, it will. Finally getting the line and the length right, and he's going to pick up a wicket on the third ball.
Well, 10 wickets to go, and already the first wicket goes down at 2 balls. This is going to be a difficult play for Bhaskar here. Bhaskar did try to, play it out way more aggressive than he should have. He did score 2 sixes in the first 2 balls, but then in the third ball, it was a caught out. And, you should be careful. Like, it's not always that you need to go for those sixes. You need to play out on a very defensive pattern if you need to. Let's find out what the fourth delivery will be coming in. Well, it's definitely a wide, and I believe, that's going to be something that Chetan needs to be worried about, because the more wide balls or no balls you put in, it's going to be a very very difficult play for his own hands there.
Well, that's true. There you go. It's going to be a similar shot again, but this time one pitch, or rather one bounce, and the ball goes into the fielder's hand. So not a wicket, but 2 runs being taken up by Bhaskar. 15 for 1. He has 2 balls left in this over. He has the advantage here, and he's going to go in for that drive, and that will be another 6. Bhaskar is clearly someone whom you do not give a good length ball to.
Well, that's true. Well, kind of let's have some predictions here. Like, we have seen that in the first over, we have seen total of 3 sixers already, and I believe that's going to be the 4th one here. Well, if it is not, no, it's not going to be a sixer, but it's definitely a boundary coming in. And I believe based on the current run rate that we are having, How many sixes are we predicting in 5 overs getting scored by Bhaskar here, Kanav?
Um, I really can't do that because 25 for one in the first over, a good over for Bhaskar, not so much for Chetan, except that one wicket he was not able to, as you can say, keep the margin out. But he's going to be going over that field. He's going to move on, get a long on in. He's going to get a deep mid wicket. He's going to have a deep square leg as well as a fine leg. So I think he should be in a good position. He's going in for that Yorker with that fast ball. Looks like it's going to get picked up as a full toss, but there's a player right there. Will he get that? No, he will not. And one bounce and into the four. And that's going to be another boundary for the side of Bhaskar.
Well, I believe Chetan needs to be worried about the bowling now because the pattern that he's using there, Yorker coming in and still getting a four on that, that's a difficult one. But I believe Chetan, he has done a decent job, putting out one wicket down. But then and there, the score has gone quite up here, 29 for 1 after 1.2 overs. And there comes the third delivery. There's an appeal coming in and the umpire will be denying it. The appeal goes down and it's 29 for 1 for 1.3 overs.
Well, I think what Chetan is trying to do over here is force the players. I'm not really sure what he was trying to do there because that's going to be a free 5 runs and an extra ball for the side of Bhaskar. And if there's one player you do not want to give free runs to, it is this guy because that was not a good ball at all from the side of Chetan.
Well, there's no, asking about that because trust me, this particular ball, giving away 5 runs to this guy, you're just increasing the score there. And Bhaskar 143, he definitely has probably come in with a mindset of scoring more runs than he possibly did yesterday. There's another drive coming in, and it's going to be another over the boundary. Sixers after sixers. What is Bhaskar's strategy today? Gonna 150? 40 in just 1.5 over. I'd say 2 overs, maybe going up to 80, 90, 100. Let's find out how much more he can score.
Well, that was almost a wide, but a good ball coming in right at the edge. As you know, Bhaskar will be limited to, I believe, there you go, 40 runs in the first 2 overs. But still, having a run rate of 20, that's a huge thing. That is not something that is going to be very easily chaseable. Going in for that off leg Yorker again, but he's going to take that up with open arms, and it's going to be another 6. I think Chetan, try not going in for those Yorkers. They're clearly not worked out.
Well, how does he do it? Kind of Yorkers are one of the difficult, deliveries that you need to play against. But there and there, every shot he's taken in the Yorkers, there it's going to be a 6 or a 4. Well, there comes another delivery, and it's going to be a taken down for Chetan here. Second wicket down for Bhaskar, but I believe he's quite satisfied. Still 8 wickets to play with, and I believe both the first openers have done a wonderful job securing quite a handful of runs there.
That is true. Both the openers have done their job of getting those runs on the board before giving in their wicket. But finally, switching that long on to a long off and moving that long on inside the field to a mid on. So I think that's a smart decision going by the bowling position that he is in. But I think that does not bother Bhaskar because he knows exactly where he needs to aim for. And that's out of the reach of every single player on the field. That's going to be another 6 for him. 50 coming up for the side of Bhaskar, and this man is on fire right now.
Well, that's just half the delivery is done, and you can see 52. That's more than half century there. Another shot getting taken, and a beautiful one indeed. Another sixer coming in for Bhaskar. 58 for 2. 2 more deliveries in this over, and I believe he'll be vouching for at least 2 boundaries, if not 2 over the boundaries. Let's find out what this delivery will be bringing in front of us. There's going to be another drive getting played there. Another sixer coming in. This man is unstoppable. 64 already, and there's one more delivery coming in on the third over.
Well, there is going to be this last ball that can be something that Chetan could use to his advantage, but no, a high ball, and that's going to go all the way to the boundary. I thought that the ball got too much elevation and not enough distance, and a fielder could come underneath it and catch that, but I guess that was not to be happening. As 68 for 2 in 3 overs. I think Bhaskar is on his way to hit that 100 very soon, Price.
Well, I think he will be hitting the 100. There's no doubt about it because look at him, 3 overs down, and he's going for shots after shots. That's another boundary coming in. It's already 3 overs down, and he has scored more than 70 runs. That's 72 runs already. 3.1 overs, like 110 maybe, or maybe he's gonna try and score more than 120. I'm confused, but the fielding at this point, it doesn't matter because every alternative shot, I'm seeing a sixer coming in from this guy.
Well, that's true. I think looking at the fielding positions that Chetan is having to change, this does not seem like the best one because now everything except mid on and mid off is going to be clear, and oh, that ball's going to connect in the wrong place, Price.
Well, nothing to worry about, I guess. 72 for 2. That's very, very pleasing. And there comes the third delivery of the fourth over. Let's see where it's going to be. Well, it's going to be a wide. There's no doubt about it. He's got to be careful about those wides. I believe he has had of total, 4 wide deliveries there, and that's 4 free runs. And that Chetan needs to be worried about it. Well, there it comes. It's going to be the third delivery once again, and this is a very, very powerful shot there. Where is it going to land? It's going to go off, and it's going to be another boundary for Bhaskar. 1, 2, 3.
Well, that's going to put him in a very good spot. He's 23 runs away. That's 4 sixers, and with this shot, it looks like he might just, it's not going to be a 6, but it's definitely going to be a 4. And the 83 rolls up, or rather the 81 rolls up for this man. 2 balls left in this over in Price. Do you think that we're going to be seeing the 100 coming in?
90, I guess. 100's a very, very difficult one. There's another shot getting taken there. Well, I believe the fielder is going to be there. Yes, the fielder does catch it off. There's going to be a single coming in this delivery. Well, it's not going to be a 90 either. Even if he scores a 6, it's just going to be 88. But I believe it's quite appeasing at this point. And 100 is something that I'm really not concerned about. I'm concerned about how many more runs will he be able to score after that 100. Because, every alternative ball you can see, there's always a sixer or a 4 coming in from this guy.
That's definitely true. Bhaskar just so calm on the ball, and he just doesn't need to worry about anything. He is just going for those shots left, right, and center. Now, this last over, Chetan is going to be making some changes to the field. So this time, there's going to be no one towards third man. There is a deep. Is there? Yep, that's the call for a catch, and there you go. Bhaskar is finally going to lose a wicket, and that's an out. So finally, the bowling works out for Chetan.
Well, he has been trying to do this intentionally, that, maybe the player will be trying to just sway the ball high up in the air. And I believe 2 of the wickets just down there is because of that simple mistake of letting the ball go up high in the air. But that's not Bhaskar's fault. Chetan, he is coming up with those strategies here. However, at this point, 4.1 overs done, 88 for 3. Now I am a bit concerned. 5 more deliveries to go before we, move on to the second innings. Let's find out what Bhaskar has in store for himself.
Well, that's going to be another wide, as Chetan is going to be kind of making up some ground for himself. That's not going to be the best. That's not going to be the best time. He's going to go in for that Yorker, and it's going to get met with a shot, but there's no fielder there, or there is one. He will be able to stop that boundary, but not the 2 runs that have been taken by the batsman.
Well, 2 runs down, 4 more deliveries to go. I think it should be 100 or at least a 99 because, under 100, I don't think there's going to be any, difficulty for the second innings batsman to come in and chase that run. But however, it's going to be straight on towards the wicket here, and he does not flinch. The batsman will be straight in a very, very beautiful shot, and it's going to be another boundary for Bhaskar. 143.
So last 3 balls of the innings, 95 on the board. I think we can safely say that the 100 is definitely going to be coming up for the side of Bhaskar's team. For Chetan, at this point, what do you think is going through his mind, Price?
I don't know. Like, look at the shots here. Every shot Bhaskar plays, he's always going in for those high lofted shots that he's scoring either a 4 or a 6 or giving him away a wicket. But the number of 4s and 6s he scored to the ratio of, the number of wickets he's going for. Well, 99 for 3. It says it all. And there's going to be the second last delivery of this innings here. It's going to be a dot ball like Chetan. He's making up for it. He may or may not be allowing Bhaskar to go in for that 100th run. Well, we are about to find out. There it goes. It's going to be the final delivery of this over and of the innings as well. It's going to be a straight shot there. Well, that's a beautiful one getting taken. It's going to be a 4. 103 from the side of Bhaskar, 143. Chetan King will be needing 104 to secure himself the victory.
Well, that's now going to be a very, very difficult task for the side of, for the side of Chetan to win this out, because 104 on the board, and I think that we might just be seeing a great game coming through, because 104 is not going to be an easy target, but if he is able to, but if he's able to make that work for himself, then I think that this is going to be great.
Well, that's true. And however, I want to see what, Bhaskar is actually packing under his sleeves here, because, at this point, after seeing the first 5 overs, the entire first innings, I'd say that the fielding, it does not matter so much, because unless there are high lofted balls, there's usually over the boundaries and very close boundaries coming in. There's going to be the first delivery coming in from the side of Bhaskar, and let's see what Chetan has in store. Well, that's a beautiful drive coming in from his side, and it's going to be a sixer, opening up the scoreboard for Chetan as well.
Well, that's going to be a great thing for the side of Chetan, because he needed this start. Looks like he's predicted exactly where the ball is going to be coming, but that was a risky shot to say the least.
Well, too risky. You are going in for a sixer, no doubt about that. But the second shot, it has to be a high lofted one. Well, don't risk it. You should not be doing the same thing that your, opponent has been doing it to you. However, the second ball, it's going to be another single coming in. Well, it's a catch out. Okay, I didn't see that coming. It is a wicket from the side of Chetan. Chetan needs to be concerned, because, I believe based on parallel analysis, I'd say that Bhaskar, after 3 balls, he was at 12 runs and then he had lost a wicket. But now, talking about Chetan here, he has just 7 runs scored and he has already lost a wicket in the 3rd ball.
Well, it's not going to be the best time to lose a wicket, because he was just about getting started on his run chase, and now he's going to have to start with a wicket down, or rather with 2 wickets down, because that's going to be 2 wickets in a row. And that's a big wicket coming in for the side of Bhaskar.
Well, what do you think, Kanav? I really think that, Bhaskar will be trying to go in and take down everyone from the side of Chetan. And if that happens, it's going to be huge win for Bhaskar.
That's definitely true for the side of Chetan. This is now a battle with the death, because he has lost 2 wickets, not at the best time. He has lost 2 wickets when Bhaskar was already sitting at 50 runs. So this 4 is definitely going to be helping him out, get some more on the board. And I think that if he keeps his calm and does not lose a wicket pretty soon, he could make the next over turn into something that is going to be favoring him.
Well, that's true, but the run rate currently is not in the best interest of Chetan. However, he does score a sixer on the final delivery of the first over, and at this point, I'd say there's a little bit of chance that Chetan can still step back into the game, because 17 for 2, it's a little bit of lesser run rate compared to Bhaskar in the first over. There comes the first delivery of the second over. It's going to be another shot getting taken, and it's going to be a boundary for sure.
Well, there you go. It's going to be a good 2 balls coming in for the side of Chetan. He has made it work a little bit for himself, but remember, it was Chetan sitting at, I believe, 40 runs at the end of the 2 overs, so he had an average run rate of 20 per over. We've just seen Bhaskar cross the 20 mark. Will he be able to get those kind of will he be able to get those kind of runs on the board in the next 5 balls? We'll have to see. But if he does not get a boundary or 2 right here, it's going to be a difficult one as a helicopter shot comes in. Will this be a catch? Yes, it will. And Chetan's going to lose another wicket right when we thought that it would, it's going to be a different outcome.
Well, I personally think that at this point, Chetan already probably will be, if I were in Chetan's position, I'd start losing a little bit of hope, but there's still a lot more to come. If you can score maybe another 20 runs in the next four balls, then there's nothing more, more of a happy performance than Chetan will be, able to put up this evening. However, now it's going to be the third delivery coming in from Bhaskar of the second over. 21 for 3 for Chetan King. And there it is, the third delivery comes in, and it's going to be a dot ball. Well, the numbers are going against Chetan Kanav, because at this point, Bhaskar was way over the run rate that Chetan has secured for himself.
Exactly, and that is going to be another call for a catch. It's going to be another catch, as Bhaskar's fielding positions are just too good. He knows exactly where to get that ball in. He knows exactly where to place his fielders. And it's just going to be an easy catch on an easy catch.
Well, I don't know what to say. 4 wickets down already from the side of Chetan King. Well, Bhaskar is definitely trying to go in for those all downs here. I want to see it if he's able to do. Well, it'll be very exciting and a huge win for Bhaskar. But coming in now, there's going to be a very powerful delivery coming in. But Chetan misses the mark, and it's going to be a wide.
Well, that's unfortunate, but for Bhaskar right now, it doesn't really matter. He has gotten a very good position in this game right now. 1.5, that dot ball is going to hurt Chetan a lot, because he has a lot of runs to score in very few balls. He's going to try to go for that lofted shot again. There's a fielder there, and well, you know the outcome at this point, right?
I don't know, kind of like it's safe to say something, but I'm not gonna rush things, because you never know what can happen, because this is cricket, kind of. We have seen in cricket something very difficult getting done in a very lesser number of balls to be delivered, and if Chetan can do it, it's going to be very powerful from his end. But then again, 3 overs and more than 80 runs to be made. It's a very difficult challenge at this point.
Well, he is going to go in for that. He's trying to go in for that helicopter shot, but not being able to connect properly. And there you go. It's going to be another straight drive this time. But what's the outcome, Price? It's another wicket.
Nothing. Nothing to say, Connor. 6 wickets already down here. 4 more to go. Bhaskar is definitely aiming for those all downs here. Bhaskar, what did you have for lunch today, man? You are definitely, getting the crowds on their nerves here. Now, well, I can see that the 7th wicket is somewhere in the next 4 or 5 deliveries. Well, let's find out where the wicket is going to get down. But Chetan, you need to be careful about what game you're going to play, because this shot, it might prove to be very fruitful. It's going to be a wicket here. Well, there it is, as I predicted it. It's going to be another one, and that's already 7 wickets down from Chetan King.
Well, that's going to be a hat trick as well, and a golden duck for the side of Kapil Dev. It's tough for Chetan out here. He's not been able to get any runs on the board since the last boundary that he hit, and things are getting very difficult for him. 22 for 7. Will this be a hat trick? It looks like the ball's going to go up in the air, but it will bounce before it can reach the fielder. So no hat trick coming in just yet. But 1 run is still going to get taken by the side of Chetan. He's going to move up to 23, but 2.4 overs done. 2 balls left in this third running over. It's going to be a great shot coming from Chetan King, but is there a fielder there? Yes, it will, and no boundary again, but 2 runs are going to be added to Chetan's score.
Well, I don't know, Kanav. I think it's safe to say that Chetan has to be very point precise. Like, even if he scores, 36 runs in each of the overs that's still there, he's not going to be able to make up the runs. However, now it's going to be another sixer coming in. Chetan is not yet given up the hopes here. He is trying to get something done. 3 overs done, 31 for 7. Add 72 to that. Well, it's going to be a very close one. Kanav, if he can even draw it, it's going to be a very big play from the side of Chetan King.
Well, yes, he is going to be starting to hit those shots when they are needed, but I think it's a little too late, as you said. I think that the placement of the balls that is coming in and the kind of play that we are seeing it's really Bhaskar all the way. But slowly, Chetan, he's trying to play different shots. He's not trying to go in for those sixes all the time. He's trying to hit those boundaries a little more. So the last two balls have been a great addition for Chetan's score. But as you said, for Bhaskar, it's really just he's already won that game. Despite all these boundaries going in, Bhaskar knows that he's already taken this home.
Well, calculated, kind of like even if he hits all the sixes, there he's going to be 2 runs short for those, draw match to be coming in. But it looks like there's going to be another sixer already coming in, and it's basically nothing is going to matter now. I want to see how much Chetan King can, go on and secure in the remaining 8 deliveries that he has to play against Bhaskar 143. Well, you can see every time Bhaskar is going in, well, there's going to be another wicket coming in, and there's going to be the 8th wicket, if I'm not mistaken, from the side of Bhaskar 143.
Well, there you go. It's going to be another wicket falling down. So right when we thought that Chetan had something going for him, it's going to be the batsman who was getting that done get taken out, and now it's going to be Chahal coming in. Do you think that Price? Are we going to be seeing one last six in this innings, or is it going to be a quick wicket coming in from the side of Bhaskar?
I think kind of there's 2 more wickets to play, right? And at this point, there might be 2 to 3 more sixers coming in. But the way Bhaskar has been given in those deliveries and the fielding pattern that he has set up for himself, well, it looks to be a much more, compact game coming in from the side of Bhaskar. There's the shot coming in from Chetan King. He does hit it perfectly, and it is going to be another over the boundary.
Well, there you go. It's going to go right over the boundary, as that's another six. 59 for 8. The last over is going to be rolling up. It's going to be right-hand fast bowler coming in. A straight ball. It's going to be super fast, but it's going to go up in the air. No fielder on that side of the field, and that's going to be an easy 4 coming in for the side of Chetan. So now the target is 104, and Chetan's at 63. 5 balls left. As you can do the maths, it's basically impossible for him to make this work out for himself now.
Well, he's just trying to go in for as many runs he can secure for himself. There's going to be another 4 coming in, and it's going to be 67 for 8. And even if he scores, 24 in the next 4 deliveries, it's not going to be enough. It's going to be something around 91 if he does score that. However, it's going to be another very powerful shot by Chetan King. He does secure himself a beautiful, beautiful sixer from his side, but it's all in vain because Bhaskar 143, you, my boy, are going into the finals for sure.
Exactly. I think that it looks like Bhaskar has already secured his final spot, and yeah, there you go. It's going to be another 4. The fielding positions are going to be interesting, to say the least. And at this point, Bhaskar is just trying to get those wickets. He just wants to make sure that as long as the ball is clearing the boundary, it doesn't really matter. He's giving those runs for free. But there you go. It's going to be another drive in. Not going to be the best connect. And it will roll over for a 4 again.
4s and 6ers coming in. Chetan King, you have been, I believe, at least 2 overs late to do something that you have had to start much more earlier. The final delivery coming in from the side of Bhaskar. How much runs is going to get scored in this ball? Chetan King with a very, very powerful shot there. I believe it's going to be a 4, and it's going to be 85 for 8 closing in from the side of Chetan King.
Well, there you go. It's going to be Bhaskar winning by 18 runs, and Chetan King, unfortunately, not is going to get knocked out of the tournament. But still, 85 for 8, not a bad score. 85 was something that me and Spiro yesterday said that it could be something that would be a very good score to defend. And honestly, 85 is a good score in 5 overs. But today it's going to be Bhaskar because he was able to get that 103 on the board, and he was able to get that dub in the bag, and he's going to be making his way into the finals, as it's going to be time for the second semi-final coming up in a short while.
Well, kind of one more thing we should remember that, at a point we really thought that whether it's going to be a 60 or, maybe a 50 from coming in from the side of Chetan King. But the way he still racked everything up altogether, and then he stepped up, scored a number of runs there. And I think that should be, something defining from the side of Chetan King, that yes, he did try. Just there's one problem in his try, is that he was very, very late to get it started altogether.
That's true. I think that losing those wickets, those 4 or 3 wickets in that matter of 2 overs, where he went from 22 for 3 to 22 for 7, that is really where I think the match went out of Chetan King's hand. Like, we knew that Bhaskar already had a very strong score to defend. He had a very good it had a very good, as you can say, position where he was in with respect to the game. But it just looks like after those wickets it was game over for Chetan, and that is exactly what happened. He just didn't have enough wickets to play those shots, and when he did start playing those shots, it was already too late. Too many balls had been wasted on getting those wickets.
Well, there's no doubt about that, and I'm looking forward to the next match now, because the next match there's a guy named Bahut Marunga, and I really want to see if he can hit those shots according to his name. I do think that he'll be able to do it, but how many runs he's able to score in this semi-final, that's going to be a question, because 103 was scored by Bhaskar, and Bhaskar, currently is the man who has scored the most runs into this stage of the tournament. I want to see how much the next guy, or the other guy facing off against Bahut Marunga, will be coming in and scoring. I want to see who makes it happen. I want to see who will be going on and facing Bhaskar 143 in the finals later this evening.
I think that for the side of Bahut Marunga as well as Paras, it's going to be interesting because both these players did get a very, as you can say, commendable opponent for themselves. For the side of Bhaskar, it was Prabhul, if I'm not wrong, and it was a one-sided match again. Either because Bhaskar, as you know, it was kind of a one-sided game here today, so might just be that Bhaskar is going to be having no problems walking through any of the players that we have. But looking at both Marunga and Paras, they both had a good game yesterday. So I think that they will have the confidence to try to play this out properly, and maybe we might just be seeing a very, very good semi final.
I think we'll be seeing a great semi-final, because overall, if I can recall from the previous match there, although Bhaskar had a very consistent run of scores that he had secured for himself, at a point when he thought that Chetan King was out of the game, almost like the point where he lost from I believe 2 wickets to 7 wickets in total. From then on, he did manage to secure quite a number of runs there, sixes and fours coming in. But I believe that was getting allowed by Bhaskar, because he was just letting the balls go loose, maybe allow them to go on for those sixes and fours. Well, that's something that I can say.
Well, that's true. I think that for both the players, or rather every single player who has taken part in the quarters and in the semis throughout, I think one thing is for sure: they all know how to play the game. They all know exactly what is happening. But out of all of those, I think that Bhaskar has been one of those players that has really stood out. He has been one of those players who I can say has had an easy game against all of his opponents. And sometimes this could just be because they are a better player, or sometimes it could just be that the opponent is not having a great day. But having that thing having that thing happen again and again, that's when you can say that it is not luck and it is all pure skill.
Well, that's true. And one more thing you should always, remember, like not just you and me, like everyone on the, audience side, or whoever is, playing any game or just witnessing it, is that no matter what happens, people never remember who loses. There's always the winner who gets remembered and gets stained on a scoreboard, that yes, this guy or this team or this, organization, they were the ones to win this, that, and those. And that, I believe, is something you need to be working out for. Now, Bhaskar, like you said, it's just pure skills coming in from his side, and Bhaskar will be the one who stays there. I want to see what Bahut Marunga and Paras will be bringing up, packing in their sleeves, and how many runs will, the first innings be there for that chase coming in from the other guy.
I agree. I think that between Paras and Bahut Marunga, it's going to be another interesting semi-final for us to watch as well as cast, because I'm really excited to see how this is going to go. I really think that we are going to be seeing a very, very good game coming up between both these players. It's really just going to be down to the fact whether it's going to be one player or it's going to be the other taking that win for them and booking themselves a spot in the in the grand finals.
Well, I want to see kind of like, Bahut Marunga. If it is Bahut Marunga and Bhaskar facing off each other, it's a great thing. If it is Paras and Bhaskar facing off each other, it's a great thing. But the way Bhaskar has definitely played in the first match, I think if either of, Bahut Marunga and Paras, they were watching, they probably will be worried if Bhaskar is given the first innings, because the chase that had to be secured by Chetan King, it was very difficult. Plus the bowling, man, it was so amazing to watch. Like Bhaskar, who would have thought he was just coming in, not hitting just the shots, but also making those deliveries and the fielding setup coming in from him. It was a total package of sheer skill and dedication that he has had for the game, and that has definitely led him to be there in the first slot of the finals.
Well, between Bahut Marunga and Paris, I really can't pick anyone, but I know for a fact that we're going to be seeing a great game coming up between both these players. And there you go, it's going to be a dead pitch, so not too much bounce on it. But sometimes that's what the batsmen need. You need to try to get that ball to bounce a little bit onto the bat to get those good shots. But if that's not coming in, you need to move up to the pitch of the ball and try to get it right where the ball is going to be pitching. And so I think that uh, it's going to be an important batting start for the side of Paris. So let's see. First ball coming in. Who do you think is going to take this match, Price?
Um, I'd say the way, we are predicting Bahut Marunga to play, if he can play it in that way, it's absolutely a clear victory coming in from his side. However, if we talk about Paras, he is the one starting off on the first innings, and trust me, when you move on to the chase scenario, that is something where you need to play against your nerves, and you need to forget everything to play there. I believe Bahut Marunga, he has the capabilities. That is why even after winning the toss, he has gone in, and there's going to be the first delivery coming in. That's a beautiful shot getting taken there, but the fielder is present this time, and it's not going to be a sixer. Remember, Kanav, both the innings we saw in the first semi-final, there was a sixer from either side, and now Paras, he just gets a 2 off the board from the first ball.
Well, that is not going to be a problem because, or rather, it's going to be a great thing for Bahut Marunga because he's going to get a run for a ball. 2 balls done, only 2 runs given in the first over. So Paris is going to be feeling that pressure a little bit. And as he moves up to the ball, he's finally understood what's happening. And there you go. It's going to be the first boundary of the game. And it's going to be a very good sixer coming in.
I think that's a beautiful sixer. He has, secured 8 for 0 in just 0.3 overs. I believe that's a beautiful start, but he needs to go for more. There's going to be another beautiful stroke off the boards, and it's going to be another sixer that's coming in. Well, that's some quick change in the pace of the game, as Paras has secured himself 14 runs from 4 deliveries.
Well, he has definitely picked up a lot in the pace department. He's trying to go for that shot again, and what a drive. It's going to go all over the boundary for another 6. And well, there you go. It's going to be a great thing.
Well, it's definitely going to be a great thing. Like 20 from 5 deliveries. Okay, Bhaskar. Paras, you have done a good job. The last ball coming in. Is it a sixer or a 4, or is it just going to be a single? Well, it's going to be nothing, it seems, and it's going to be 1 over 20 balls, 20 runs coming in from the side of Paras. 20.0 is the current run rate. Will he be able to maintain it, Kanav? What do you think?
Well, I really think that he can maintain it if he wants to, but there's a player right underneath the ball, but he's just going to be a spectator because that ball is going to be making its way into the stands, and that's a six coming in from Paras. So 1.1 overs, 26 runs on the board. This might just be a very, very good over coming in for the side of Paras.
That's a beautiful over, and there's going to be another sixer coming in from his side as well. 32 for 0. That's a beautiful, beautiful start. Remember, Kanav, previously we had seen by the time these many deliveries were done, there were at least 2 wickets getting dropped there. And now, Bahut Manunga, in spite of everything, after giving off 1 over and 2 more deliveries, he has given off 32 runs for Paras. Now, Paras, he's going to be happy. He's going to be very happy. Let's find out what the third delivery has in store for us. Well, that's a very, very powerful shot coming in from the side of Paras, as it's going to be a sixer coming in from his side.
Well, it just looks like Bahut Marunga is not going to be having a good time right now. He is not going to be, he's not going to be able to have the same kind of grip on the game that he had in the quarterfinals. But there is some time. 38 runs on the board. That's going to be another pull shot. That's going to be another sixer, and well, things aren't looking good.
Well, honestly speaking, Kanav, 44 for 0 in 1.4 overs. Like, Paras, what have you done, my friend? And that's another beautiful and a huge coming in from the side of Paras. Already 50 runs in just 1.5 overs. Another 4 or a sixer? Well, I believe he's going to be way off ahead the scoreboard that, Bhaskar had set up by this time.
Well, I think that it's going to be difficult for Bahut Marunga to keep his patience here, but he needs to do that because 52 runs in 2 overs, that's an average score of, that's a run rate actually of 26, and that's really, really high. And another shot, will this be a catch? No, there's no player there, but it will stop the boundary, and that's going to be 2 runs that will get taken by Paras. So he is going to be in a very strong spot, and Bahut Marunga, he needs to pick up at least 3 or 4 wickets in a row, because otherwise it's not going to be anything that is looking good for him.
I think at this point, Paras has secured himself quite a lot of number of runs there. However, Bahut Marunga, I don't know what he was thinking. Probably he has something packed up there, and he might be trying to go in for the chase. And if he does get on with the I don't know how many more runs is going to be there from the side of Paras, but by the looks of it, Bahut Marunga definitely has to have a wonderful day once he's there on the batting side.
Well, that's true. I agree with you. I think that I really think that for Bahut Marunga, he really needs to start thinking about how he is bowling, because all these runs that he is giving away right now are going to come back to haunt him. And for the side of Paras, he's just having a blast. He is having a lot of fun, and 67 in 2.4 overs. What more can we say?
I'd say, these wide deliveries is the only reason that Paras is getting more and more runs, and it's going to be 2.4 for, 68 runs given off. It's a very, very big score line already. I want to see what this delivery gives him, because this particular ball will be an important one from the side of Paras. I believe it's going to be a single coming in, or is it a wide? Well, it's going to be a single coming in from the side of Paras. Okay, it's a wide. Yeah, it's a wide coming in, and you can see that it's okay. What's happening? I believe some network issues coming in from the side. Yeah.
Another wide. Another wide ball. 3 wide balls in a row. He's trying to go in for that again. Wide ball, but this time it's going to get picked up, and that's a 6. And Paras is just... That's 2 sixes, 1 4, 2 singles, and 4 wide balls. That's what? That's 15, 16, 17... That's going to be 24 runs, or rather that might be 26 runs in a single over. And, well, that's a lot of damage.
25 plus runs, like the run rate is 25 plus, kind of like 25.4 if I'm not mistaken. Bahut marunga. He needs to be careful about what he's asking for, because Paras, he's going to give him a huge and hefty runs lead to chase up against. 78 now moving up to 80. 3.1 overs delivery coming in from the side of Bahut marunga. 3.1 overs and 80 runs. This is way more than Bhaskar had done. I want to see if there's more and more and more getting done. There's another wide coming in, 81 already from this side. Like, what is happening? Kind of so many wide deliveries coming in the previous over, and one already in this one.
Well, that is looking like again some lag coming in, as the game is going to be waiting for the opponent's input, and it's going to be another wide ball for Bahut Marunga. That is tough, man. Like, two wide balls in a row, and that's going to be another shot coming in all the way to the fine line. But there's a player there, and he will be able to stop those runs. But they come in for the second, and that's going to be a run out.
Oops.
So finally, Paras is going to be losing his first wicket. No, it looks like it was some latency issues that we had, as it's going to be 2 runs taken and another wide ball.
That's interesting. Kind of 3.2 overs, like 3 wides in this over as well. And that's how many runs are altogether? That's 4, 5, 6, 7 runs, and now going for a double. Well, that's something that Paras has done against what he was doing in the previous few balls here. Like, I'd say the pace of the game has slowed down a little bit from the side of Paras, but Bahut Marunga giving off so many wides, that's something he needs to be worried about. Well, is it going to be a wicket? Well, it's definitely going to be a wicket, and there is the first wicket getting taken down by Bahut Marunga. And the run, however, it's a huge one. 38 runs coming in from 10 deliveries. Well, nothing more to say, I say.
Well, exactly, nothing more to say, to be honest, as after 20, as you said, 24 deliveries, we are going to be getting the first wicket finally, as Bahut Marunga will be able to get that first breakthrough. But another shot going up. There is a fielder there. This could be a catch. No, it's not going to be. One bounce and into his hands. 2 runs are going to be called though, and 2 runs will get taken. So 89 for 1, 3.5. We might just be seeing another more than 100 score on the board.
Well, I think it's going to be definitely more than 100. Well, is that another wicket? Well, there's another wicket coming in. Like, Bahut Marunga, suddenly he has maybe, drank a bottle of nitrous there, and he's definitely going in for those wickets. But will he be able to stop Paras in his huge spree of runs that he has already collected for himself? And it's going to be Shreyas coming in onto the pitch. Let's find out what he has in store for us.
Well, I don't know what's going to be in store for us, but last over is coming up, 89 for 2. I think we will be able to, possibly see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to be seeing more than 100 on the board for the side of Paras. That's going to be 1 bounce into the fielder's hands, 2 runs called, 2 runs will get taken, no problems. 90 comes up for the side of Paras.
Well, 4.1 for 91. That's a beautiful scoreline I can see there. But there's going to be another dot ball coming in, and 4 more deliveries. Paras, definitely he can go over for more than 110. Let's see what more will be coming in store for us. 91 for 2, moving in more and more and more, and this is going to be another sixer that just drives in. 97 already done. 3 more balls to go. Let's find out.
Well, 3 balls, we could be seeing 3 sixers, and I really hope that Bahut Marunga is able to fix something over here, but no, it's going to be a catch, and that's going to be the 3rd wicket that will get dropped by the side of Paras. But at this point, having 90 runs on the board, he isn't really worried about dropping those wickets.
Well, if he goes in for 2 more, wicket drops, that's going to be very, very fantastic coming in from the side of Bahut Marunga. But still, 2 deliveries, I think he can hit that 100 mark. Talking about Paras here.
Well, yes, I definitely feel that Paris can hit that 100 mark. He's going to go in for that shot. No player there, but will it get stopped? Yes, it will. 97 comes up, and it's going to be awfully close to see whether we are going to be seeing a sub 100 or a greater than 100 score.
Well, 99 for 3. One more delivery. Let's see a sixer. Like, I want to see a sixer coming in. Come on, let's find out. Let's find out. It's going to be a sixer or not. Well, it's not going to be a sixer. That's a beautiful, fielding coming in from the side of Bahut Marunga, but there's definitely going to be a couple getting drawn, if I'm not mistaken. Well, what? Okay, is that a wicket getting taken down? Is
Yep.
it? Yeah, it is a
Yep.
wicket getting taken down. It's going to be 100 for 4 in 5.0 overs, and 101 is going to be the target for Bahut Marunga.
Well, I think that it's going to be difficult for Bahut Marunga to chase this down, but he should be able to do it. Technically thinking, it's not going to be such a huge score. 20 runs per over is going to be what he needs to be able to straddle up, and I think he should be able to do that.
It's possible, but it's a big one because we saw in the previous innings, I mean the previous semi-finals, that the bowling was very pinpoint from the side of Bhaskar. If Paras can keep that thing up, well, Bahut Marunga is going to have a hard time. However, the first delivery comes in. It's a huge one coming in from the side of Bahut Marunga. He does get a sixer on board, and it's just the starting.
Well, it is just the start, but it's going to be a good start coming in for the side of Bahut Marunga. He really needs those runs. He needs those sixes as well as those fours. But as we speak about that, it's going to be a wicket getting dropped. Just getting a little too greedy, swinging that bat, just not at the right time and dropping a wicket. That's not going to be what you want to do at this point of time.
I don't know, man. I seriously don't know what he's gonna do because he has lost a wicket, but he can go for more. Paras now on the delivery side doing a fantastic job, and that's just a flick of the wrist coming in from the side of Bahut Marunga, and he secures another sixer for himself. 12 for 1 in 0.3 overs.
Well, that's definitely going to be a decent start, as you can say. As we said, 20 runs and over is going to be the ask. He's going to go in for that shot again. Will he be able to connect a better shot this time? Yes, it will. And this time, it's going to be for a sixer.
Well, 18 for 1. That's beautiful. That's a beautiful run rate at this point here. The fifth of delivery coming in. It might be a 4 or maybe a save. Well, it's going to be a boundary that's coming in. It's already 22 runs on the board. And mind you, Kanav, we are, I think, over the run rate that Paras had secured in the first over. Like, that's a huge thing. I believe 20 runs was the thing that, Paras had done. But Bahut Marunga, he definitely has secured himself 23 runs, especially after this wide ball.
Well, I think that for the side of the bowling of Paras right now, the important thing is not going to be to make sure whether he is giving how many runs or not. If he is able to take those wickets, and there you go, he's going to get that wicket right at the boundary line. He should be able to maintain enough pressure on the side of Bahut Marunga to make sure that he can get the wickets before he runs out of runs to defend for.
Well, you never know, kind of like, I don't know how to say it, but second wicket down, well, it's okay. 1 over down, 23 runs, it's all fine for Bahut Marunga, and I believe he has the potential. Well, that's a very, very high lofted shot that ran straight into the arms in the hands of the fielder, and he loses another 2 wickets down from the side of Bahut Marunga, and that too in just, 2 deliveries. I want to see what more Paras, he can do, because Bahut Marunga, he is definitely playing a bad game at this point, I'd say, because 2 wickets, like, kind of, that's something that we were not expecting.
I think that Paras's bowling is really showing its strengths right now because he has set his field perfectly, and well, just as I said that, it's going to be a wide ball coming in, and I think that for the side of Bahut Marunga, he needs to take those risks. He does not have too much in his kitty going for him right now. Well, that wide ball is definitely going to be helping him out a little bit. That's one free run without a ball getting counted.
Well, singles are something like, we have a old saying, drops of water bringing up and making up the ocean. Well, you never know how long it's going to go on for. 25 for 3. And is it another wicket? Well, I don't think. Well, it's not going to be a wicket. That's a triple coming in from the side of Bharat Manunga. 28 for 3 for 1.2 overs. It's fine until now, but he needs to be getting more runs on the board for himself.
That's true. He needs to get that run rate higher and higher, because if he doesn't, then he's going to be having some serious problems in the later half of the game, which is going to be after the 2.3 over mark. And right as we speak about that, he's going to be 1 over away from it.
Well, that's true. That's no doubt about it. And you can see there's going to be another high lofted ball. Come on, is there a wicket? Well, that's not going to be a wicket. Bharat Manunga needs to be careful of the shots he's playing, because by the looks of it, he's trying to go in for those flicks. But, it's just that instead of getting the ball high up in the air, if there's more power in those shots, it's going to be much more beneficial for his sake. There's another ball in the air and it's at the same position. He is making those mistakes, and Parasi needs to capitalize on them so that he's there in the finals to face off against Bhaskar.
That is true. I think that both these players need to really take a step back and realize what they're trying to do, as that's not going to be a good thing for the side of Paras. That's going to be a wide ball and a 4. Well, that's just that's just unfortunate.
I don't know if you can call it unfortunate, because at this level of the game, if you are putting in wrong deliveries, it's basically, maybe your nervousness that's making you do these kind of things. However, 2.0 overs done, 47 for 3. That's more run rate than Paras had at this point. I want to see what more Bharat Manunga can do. Let's find out. That's another huge shot. But there's going to be fielders present, and it's just going to be a double, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, yes, it might just be a double, but at this point, every single run counts for both Bharat Manunga as well as Paras. They both need to make sure that one of them restricts the runs and the other one scores them, as that's going to be a lofted shot that will go for a 6. Looks like Bharat Manunga is clearly on a roll right now.
Well, he is definitely on a roll. 55 for 3, the third delivery of the third over now coming in. I want to see another huge shot there. Well, he does go in for a flick, and it's going to be a wicket. Well, that we did not see it coming, and there's a wicket dropped. I was expecting a sixer at least, and well, that's unfortunate for him. Kohli goes down, 4 balls, 11 runs scored.
Well, I think that Samson coming in, he has a lot of, he has a lot on his plate right now. 2.3, that's going to be the midway point. 55 for 4. Again, that's also kind of the midway point. And as we speak about that, a dot ball coming in from the side of Paras is going to make things a little bit difficult for the side of Bharat Manunga.
Well, 55 for 4. It's going to be a difficult one. He still has 6 wickets to play with. He can go in for those lofted shots there. However, the players, you can see the level of fielding that we are getting to see from the side of Paras. It's so amazing. 2.5 overs. He definitely has slowed down the pace for Bharat Manunga. However, it's not over. 2 more overs and he can pull off an insane level of a gameplay. But now it's going to be another shot getting taken by Bharat Manunga. I'm looking for the player on the boundary. Well, it's not going to be enough, as it's going to be high up in the air, and it's going to be a sixer from the side of Bharat Manunga. 63, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, 63 for 3 overs. He has been consistent, but he needs to be more consistent, because now 1 ball getting wrongly done, that might mean the end for either of the players here.
Well, Bharat Manunga trying to go in for that cut again, but this time right into the hands of the fielder. He's going to lose his wicket again, and Samson out for a golden duck.
Can't say that, we actually saw this coming, but now it's going to be Chakravarti who's going to come in, and I want to see some impressive shots getting by this, young lad here. Bahut Marunga, he's going to step in. Let's find out what he has in store. Well, it's going to be a wide ball coming in from the side of Paras. Paras definitely trying to be smart and cheeky, but still gives off one run for free onto Bahut Marunga. 64 for 5, 3.2 overs now done.
Well, as I said, that's going to be another 6 on the board. And Bahut Marunga, he is actually really close to getting this done for himself.
Well, no doubt about that. 70 for 5 kind of like if he hits another sixer and a 4, he's going to be way above it. And there's going to be another sixer coming in from his side here. Another delivery of a 4. He actually has made up quite an impressive scorecard for himself. Now, it's going to be the 4th delivery of the 4th over. Another same strategical shot coming in. And it's going to be another sixer. 82 already done. And 2 more deliveries for spare for him to use and get more runs on the board for himself.
Well, Bahut Marunga living up to his name, as that's going to be another shot. And that's going to be another 6. That's 3 sixes in a row for the side of this man, or rather 4 sixes in a row. 88 for 5, 3.5. This is coming down to the wire, Price.
Well, I don't know. And another shot like this guy, like look at him. The delivery goes on onto the same position, and it's just a spree of sixers now coming in. 5 deliveries, 5 sixers, and Hardik Pandya 52 runs for himself. Well, kind of very, very close to victory now for Bahut Marunga. 94 already secured. Mind you, if he hits one more sixer, he's already on the safe side. He just needs to get one more run after that, and I believe he has all the time in his life, but he should not be dropping wickets at this point no matter what.
Well, there you go. It's going to be a fastball coming in. It will be a drive through the 2 fielders. That's going to be a 4. 98 comes up for Bahut Marunga, and I think that we can officially say that in the next 5 balls, getting those 3 runs are not going to be very, very difficult for Bahut Marunga.
It's a straight ball to the wickets here, and it's going to be another drive coming in, and it's going to be another through the fielder scene, and it's going to be Bahut Marunga secure 102 for himself, and he will be winning by 5 wickets.
Well, Bahut Marunga making sure that he gets that win for himself, winning by 5 wickets. There you go. It's going to be Paras getting eliminated despite having such a good score to defend. It looks like Bahut Marunga just lived up to his name.
Well, no doubt about it. Like Bahut Marunga, he did, hit those insane, like shots there. Like he was hitting them. He was going on hitting them over and over again in that same simple position. I believe Bhaskar has been observing the match here, because it is important to know what your opponent has been doing in the previous game. And if Bhaskar knows that Bahut Marunga was hitting those shots in that same particular direction, I believe he needs to come up with something to defend it off against this guy, because he's absolutely insane in that same position of shots there. 5 sixers in a row. We haven't seen this in the entire 2 semifinals that we have just witnessed.
That's true. Neither of the semifinals did we see so many sixes being pulled off by someone right at where it was needed. And I just feel that, for the side of Paris, it's a missed opportunity. He had such a great score to defend, and he just didn't do it.
Well, I don't know. Like Paras, he had. I don't think it's a very good score. I'd say it's an okay score, because we have seen over the 100 scores go up in both the semifinals. So I believe if he had gone for more, if he hadn't lost those wickets in, I believe, the mid 60s or so, maybe we would have seen something of a more different outcome, because it was close. It was down the wire, but somewhere down the line, it was basically, Bahut Marunga coming in. And yes, it's going to be Bhaskar versus Bahut Marunga. Excited to see, because the highest scorer against someone who has just, beaten the something out of the ball there. Well, I'm impressed. I'm impressed by this guy, and I want to see what happens in the grand finals there.
Well, yes, we will be seeing we will be seeing Bhaskar versus Bahut Marunga in the finals. And honestly, what a game this is going to be. I mean, this is going to be so interesting.
No doubt about it. Kind of like 10 overs now to work with instead of five. Will we be seeing double centuries? Kind of tell me what is your thinking about that?
I think in 10 overs, it is very possible to see 200 runs. Um, but I think we will expect the players to play a little slow, because instead of
Hmm.
just trying to put a high score on board, they will try to play it out through the 10 overs, which means that they will have to save their wickets. So I I don't know. We might just be seeing a double hundred, but I can't really guarantee it.
Well, maybe we can see. I'd say 160 is a safe score for I'd say 160 will be a safe score because 160 runs, you give a chance to your opponents to make that chase happen, make them, eager to play off some shots which you may not be predicting, and you might get wickets down the line. But what is going to happen in the match? There's going to be just these two gentlemen here who can tell us because 160, 180, 200 might go up to 220 or a 240. Well, if someone goes up above 200, I believe we can say he has already won 70% of the match there.
Well, if someone is able to go above 200, I think that it'll become very, very. It'll be a very interesting place to be in the game, actually, because this team that's coming in the second innings, they will know that they need to start hitting right out of the bat, but at the same time they will have that fear in them that, what if I lose too many wickets at the start? Will I be able to go in for those big shots when the time is needed? So I think for the team that is batting first, um, it's going to be a big opportunity to put up a very good score. So whether it's going to be Bhaskar or it's going to be Bhaut Marunga, I think that it's going to be really interesting to see.
Well, no doubt about that. It has to be interesting because 5 overs, 100 plus runs in both the first innings, and then the chase coming in from the side of Bahut Manunga, and a very successful one because I believe he had two spare balls before he actually had secured himself the match. So yes, it's a very very interesting match which we are going to see. However, 10 overs, like you said, maybe a slow paced gameplay in the beginning 5 overs, and then it's just hit, keep on hitting in the last 5 overs, and if that happens, it's not going to be a shocker for anyone.
Well, that's true. Maybe the first 3 overs players are going to be playing a little safer, trying to understand what the other teams, or rather what the other player is trying to do. And once that's done, I think that is when we will be starting to see exactly what, we'll be starting to see exactly what the players have in mind. Because once that initial place, dies down, once that initial pace is going to get reached by both the players, I think that is when they will realize that, what, we can play those big shots now, and yeah, we should be seeing something cool then.
Well, there's no doubt about it. And now, I believe, after seeing both of these players, one thing is for sure: the batting innings on both of these players' favor is a very, very crucial one because the bowling, both of them have an equal level of commitment, but the batting is something which you need to be worried about because the way Bhaskar played it, he was spreading the sixers all over the field. But let me remind you what Bhaut Marunga had done. He was hitting those shots every time onto the leg side, and I believe that is something you need to be concerned about because on a left-handed batsman just hitting those shots on the leg side, it's easier to predict, and if Bhaskar does it smartly, well, we might be seeing wickets getting taken down from his side.
Well, yes, I agree. I think that for Bhaskar, if he's trying to go in for those big shots and he loses the wickets at the same pace that he did in the 5 over game, then it might be a bad thing for him, because we know that in this 10 over final, you will have to conserve your wickets for the last overs, because that's when you're really going to be pushing your score. There you go. It's going to be a green pitch. It's going to be a lot of fun. And well, there you go. The toss is just rolling in.
Well, the toss is definitely going to roll in. Let's find out who will be on which side. And looks to be it's going to be Bhaskar 143 lost the toss. Well, it is going to be Bhaut Manunga winning the toss, and he has again gone in for the bowling side. Well, is it the same strategy that we are going to see from Bhaut Marunga? Because Mind you, Bhaskar on the opening innings, he's just not just beautiful. He's amazing and magnificent to watch because he's gonna go in, hit those shots, and get as many runs as possible from his side.
Well, fine leg's going to be outside the circle as long on will be moved inside. Third man will be moved in as well. As we're going to be seeing two players on the offside and three on the leg side. As long off is still, yep, long off is going to be inside. Deep square leg has been put up, as well as there's going to be one player at cover, but not too much to worry about. Anything as that. The first ball comes in. It's not going to be a wide ball. It's going to be a dot ball instead.
Interesting, Kanav. Look at the pace of the gameplay. Bahut marunga, quite a slow delivery, and then it's going to be Bhaskar hitting the shot, given off the first wicket. No, Bhaskar, what are you doing? Well, it's safe to say that it's a good start for Bahut marunga, but Bhaskar losing off the first wicket, it's going to be a huge problem from his side.
Well, that's going to be an interesting start for the side of Bahut Marunga as well as Bhaskar. Not the start that you would have expected for himself, but we saw him drop an early wicket last time as well and was able to make that work in the end. So maybe he has a plan up his sleeve.
Maybe, but I believe the answer has to be given off, and the answer is given off with a sixer. But let me tell you, every time you lose a wicket, even if you get a sixer, that's just 60 runs for you. Like, if you do the math in such a way, looks like it's going to be a wide, and that's a free run for Bhaskar.
Well, yes, that's definitely going to be a free run for Bhaskar. And, wide balls, they keep on happening and can't really do anything about it. As that's going to be another shot that will go all out, as that's going to be a six coming in from the side of Bahut Marunga. And, again, Bhaskar and Bahut Marunga both are just going at each other.
Well, they are definitely going at each other, and as you can see, there's going to be a lofty shot in the air, and it's going to be a sixer coming in from the side of Bhaskar. Bhaskar does answer back in just 3 balls after losing the first wicket. He scores 19 runs, and that is so amazing to watch here. The final delivery yet to come from the side of Bahut Marunga. I want to see what this will be coming up from his sleeves here, because the delivery, well, it's a smart one, but the answer is given off by Bhaskar. That's going to be another sixer. It's 25, Kanav. 25 is the run rate in the first over from the side of Bhaskar. It's a huge one that he has secured for himself.
Well, yes, that's definitely true. I think that for the side of Bhaskar, it's going to be a good start, but at the same time, Bahut Marunga has picked up a wicket, and with 10 overs to play, a wicket per over is all that you can afford. So if you've already lost your wicket in the first over, you need to make sure that you consider saving your wickets for the final overs, as we said.
Well, you need to save your wickets for the final over, because at this particular point here, you need to be also careful about not messing up your shots here. We'll talk about not messing up. Bhaskar does not mess it up. He gets another sixer into his bag here. 35 for 1 for just 1.2 overs. If the next ball is another sixer, he will have done enough for the first 2 overs. Well, that's another lofty shot going up high in the air, and it's going to be another, not a sixer, although a boundary safely secured for himself.
Well, yes, that's true. And I think that the way that this game has started off, it's really put us on the pace for Bhaskar to again start his heavy hitting. And he's already having almost 40 runs on board. That's going to be a right ball. That's not going to be a wide, but it'll be a dot ball instead.
Well, it's definitely a dot ball, but 2 more deliveries to go. Even if he's able to secure 2 more fours, that's a beautiful shot coming in from the side of Bhaskar. It's going to be another over the boundaries, as he will be cleaning it up, and he's going to go up to 45 for just 1 wicket loss in 1.5 overs. The final delivery yet to be played. What are your predictions, Kanav?
Well, I think that this could be a 6. No, it's going to be a wide. No, it's not going to be a wide. Oh, surprising.
Oh, well, 45 is the run. I believe it's fine, right? Kind of 10 overs to play, 2 overs, 45 runs already. It's a safe one, and that too with just 1 wicket loss. It's a safe play, definitely. That's going to be a beautiful delivery, but the batsman does read it carefully. It's a 4, 49 for 1 secured from the side of Bhaskar.
Well, 49 for 1 in 2 overs. He's almost having a 25 run rate. That is exceptionally high. There you go. It's going to be a short, fast ball. It's going to get picked up. The catch call has been made. There's a player right underneath it, and there you go. It's going to be a wicket coming in for the side of Bahut Marunga.
Well, important wicket, I'd say. Bahut Marunga, he is quite happy, it seems, because now he needed the wicket down. He does get it down because 6 balls, 28 runs. Are you serious right now? Like, that's a huge, huge scoreline you have secured for himself. Now, coming in, this is going to be a very, very important delivery that he has to make, because now, if he does get a dot ball or even just a single from the side of Bahut Marunga, he will be safe to make a play on his own. But now, he does read the shot here. Bhaskar will be securing himself another boundary for himself, and the score just keeps on going up for Bhaskar.
Well, I think that, this is going to be an interesting over, to say the least. We did not see so many runs coming in for the side of both these players in the last round, but it's going to be a wicket, and Bhaskar will lose a third.
Well, nothing to say. There's no words absolutely for this little man here, because Bahut Marunga, what are you doing right now? Just going on and on and on and on, and you lose, and you just make Bhaskar lose 2 wickets in just 1 single over. That's massive. About Bhaskar, he is going to be a bit slow about his progression, because Bahut Marunga, he definitely has secured himself quite a handful of wickets there. Well, that's a very, very powerful shot from the side of Bhaskar as he secures himself 59 runs in just 3 wickets in 2.5 overs. Well, the run rate still close to 20. This delivery will be saying it out, whether it says above 20 or it's just a little bit below it. Well, that's a huge, huge and a fast ball coming in from the side of Bahut Marunga, but it's another sixer, and it's going to be 65 after the end of 3 overs. Talking about overs, well, you do know, ladies and gentlemen, that it's a 10 over finals that we have, and at this point 65 for 3, well, it's a good run rate, I'd say. But now he needs to be careful about the wickets as well, trying to go for the stump, but no, it's going to be a wide here, and another free wicket coming in from the side, a free run coming in from the side of Bhaskar. Bahut Marunga 3.0, and still looking to be very, very frisky about the play, and I believe it might be another wide coming in from the side of Bahut Marunga, because by the looks of it and the line and length of the ball, it might be a wide here. Well, it looks to be, and it's going to be definitely another wide ball from the side of Bahut Marunga.
Well, yes, I'm going to be back, and well, that's going to be another 6 coming in, and that will straight away be taken out of the field, and that's going to be a big over for the side of Bhaskar. 3.1, 73 for 3. He's already gotten 8 runs from 1 ball. He's going to make that another 6. That's going to be 14 runs from 2 balls, and well, if that's not a good over, then I don't know what is.
I think it's not just a good over, Kadav. I think it's a beautiful innings that we are seeing. But just look at it. Like, in the first over, you secure 25 runs. After the second one, it's 45. After the third one, it's 65, if I'm not mistaken. And now, just with 2 deliveries, it's already on to 79. Like, that's massive play coming in from the side of Bhaskar. 4 more deliveries, and if he is able to get above 90 score, well, I believe that hit him in the wrong spot, that he might be injured. Well, he's not injured. That's just the AI of the game. Talking about Bahut Marunga, a very, very I believe sorted ball, I'd say, but that's a huge shot coming in from the side of Bhaskar, and he gets another sixer. 85 after just 3.4 overs.
Well, it's definitely going to be a more than 150 score. is what I am thinking. Well, there you go. It was the call for a catch, but did not come in, as that should be two runs that they are able to take while the fielder is able to get the ball back. So yep, 3.5 on the board, 87 for 3 price. I think we might just see a 180, 190 come in from the side of Bhaskar.
I'm not gonna rush it, Kanav, because I have seen Bhaskar being frisky when he's doing good, and if he is making that same mistake of losing the wickets, somewhere at around 7-8 overs getting done. Well, I believe that will be something he needs to be concerned about. However, 4.0 after 80, after 4.0, it's 87 runs. It's safe to say that he's going to be able to secure 100 after the fifth one. But how much more can he go? Because it's going to be a free run for himself. 88 for 3 after 4.0 overs.
Well, 88 for 3 in 4 overs. If you do the maths, that's 22 runs per over, and that looks like it's going to be another wide coming in. Looking at the line and length, no, it's going to be a dot ball this time, as it was a good ball, and unfortunately for the batsman, he was unable to connect with it, but he will definitely connect this time, but not enough. That's going to be a wicket for the side of Bahut Maruka.
I have said it kind of previously that you need to be careful about the shots you're hitting. If you are hitting the shots properly with quite a lot of pace, and I believe if you are going in for those high lofted balls for those sixes, there needs to be a power in those shots, and if you don't have those power in the shots there, you're going to lose up wickets. And before 5 overs, we are already seeing 4 downs from the side of Bhaskar, and that's a beautiful dot ball coming in from the side of Bahut Maruka. 4.3 and 88 runs. Well, we were expecting 100. Now I'm concerned whether it's going to be 100 before the 5th over is done and dusted.
Well, if it is going to be 100 before the 5th over, then we might just be seeing a new high score come in the 5 over segment of the game. But this is going to be the final, so this is a 10 over game, and honestly, just looking at how Bhaskar is going left, right and center with these shots, we might just be seeing a 200 score come out from this man.
Well, we might be able to see more, 93 for 4.4 overs. That's smart. 2 more deliveries to play with, and he gets another free run. 94 for 4 now. Come on, Bahut Maruka, what are you doing? Don't give him the free runs. He already is making up, bit of a harsh time for you in the second innings, and you're just giving him off with the free runs. 4.4 for 94. That's beautiful, and that's a very powerful shot coming in. It's going to be a 4, no doubt about that. 98 for 4. 1 more ball to go before we are done with 5 overs. Kind of, what do you think? Will it be 100 or will it be lesser?
I am not really certain about that. I think that it's going to be it's going to be a dot ball.
Well, that's what I'm concerned about, because I told you that Bhaskar, somewhere down the line, when we have seen already 6 and 8 overs getting played, he does lose wickets, and he's not able to make up that huge scoreline that he usually starts off with. And that's another wicket getting dropped here. 5.0 overs, 5.1 overs, and 5 wickets down. Well, it's quite I'd say leveled play that's going on. 100 runs, very close to 100 runs. 5 wickets dropped, 5 overs done. Well, I believe it's going to be a very, very interesting second innings that we see from the side of Bahut Maruka.
I agree. I think that it's going to be a very interesting second innings, because the man usually starts off slow. We saw that happen in the game before this as well. We thought that he was going slow. He might not be able to catch up. He might not be able to, get the score that is needed. But turns out he knew exactly what he was doing, and he was able to, get his mind in the game, keep his cool, and slowly and steadily get those runs when they were needed.
Well, there's no doubt about it. He's just making those plays happen. 99 for 5 now. Bahut Maruka, he has been improving. He's bowling over the line. That's a beautiful, beautiful, shot getting played there. But the fielder is there. No mistakes done there from the setup of the field. And it's going to be a run out. No? Okay. It's not a run out. Could you please elaborate what just happened there?
Well, I think that it was really smart decision making to take that run, because sometimes when you play this game out, a long time, you are going to be knowing exactly when the fielder will be able to return that ball to the bowler or the keeper. And I think Bhaskar just played into that advantage and that experience, and he was able to get that run without giving his wicket away. But that's going to be a clean bowl, man. There's no way he's walking out of that one.
Well, is that a bold or a stump? I think it was a stump, Kanav, and that's a beautiful wicket as
Yep.
well. 6 wickets down now. He is losing the cool. Like Bhaskar, I've told you, he does get frisky now. He has just 4 more wickets to play with. He has quite a number of balls to play off against. Like you can see, still 4 overs and 1 more delivery after that to play with. He needs to be calm. He needs to be cool. 160, I'd say it's going to be a difficult one for him to get well. And there he answers my statement there with a beautiful and a huge sixer there. And he's doing a beautiful job once again.
Well, he definitely is doing a beautiful job. He was doing a beautiful job, mind you. But, he kind of loses his cool in the middle, tries to, uh, you know, tries to go in for those shots sometimes when they don't work out. But at the end of the day, if as long as he's able to get those runs on the board and keep wickets in his pocket and be able to defend it when the time comes, oh, that's going to be a run out. Oh
Well, we were
boy,
predicting
that's
this. I don't know. Kind of, no doubt about it. It was a clean run out and 7 wickets down. 3 more wickets to go. All down before we are done with 10 overs. What do you think, Kanav?
Well, I think that when we are done with these 10 overs, or rather, we might not just be done with the 10 overs, because with 3.5 overs left to go, I think that Bhaskar, 3 wickets in hand, there's no real point for him trying to play that safe, as a stump is going to be done again, baited twice by Bahut Marunga, and well, there you go. That's going to be another wicket on the board. And as I was saying, it looks like it's going to be difficult for the side of Bhaskar to even finish off the innings with 10 overs being played.
2 more wickets, Kanav. Either he gets 20 plus runs, 20 plus, I'd say 40 plus runs now, or it's going to be a very, very difficult situation for him. 6.2 overs. He has the deliveries to work with, but he doesn't have the wickets. Whether he's going to be playing it safe or he's going to just, try and hit those insane level of sixes that he was. Well, it's going to be a ground shot that's played there. It's going to be a fielder who gets the ball. Maybe a clean double coming in from the side of Bhaskar.
Well, I think that even if it was, even if it is going to be Bhaskar playing out the entire innings completely, playing out all the 10 overs, it's not really going to make too much of a difference, because he will have to play it safe, not be able to, you know, not be able to get both of best worlds. He should be able to make sure that he gets that run rate up to where it is needed to be, and hopefully he is able to play the last few overs that are left with maybe a wicket in hand, so that he can maximize his score from here.
Well, kind of one more thing I have noticed about Bahut Marunga is that he usually likes to, switch over. He's fielding, setup there almost after every 2 or 3 balls, and I believe that's a very, very difficult thing that Bhaskar has to endure at this point. 120 for 8 and 3.1 more overs to go. Well, that's a smart play. And look at Bhaskar; he's playing those ground shots because he knows that on the air it's difficult to make those sixes happen, and he does make a 4 for himself. It's going to be another 4 for his scoreboard, but is it enough to stop Bahut Marunga in the chase? 7.0 overs done already. 124 for 8. Well, I don't know what Bhaskar is going to do. He needs to get up to that 150, 160 mark. Otherwise, it's going to be just a walk in the park for Bahut Marunga.
Exactly, and this is what I said. For the team that is playing second or batting second, it is going to be a much easier chase, because they will know exactly how many runs they need, how they can distribute their wickets when they are going in. But for the side of Bhaskar, it was a lot more difficult. So despite Bhaskar not having the best score right now, or what he would have predicted, oh, that's going to be a strong ball from the side of Bahut Marunga. And yeah, coming back to the point that I was making, for Bhaskar, it's going to be a lot more difficult. That's going to be an LBW call, and it will get given. One last wicket left for Bhaskar to make this work out for him. I think that this is suddenly going to get a lot more interesting.
Well, definitely. Now, the last wicket to play with Bhaskar, it has to be a YOLO solo play coming in for him. Well, it's going to be Kamal coming down on the pitch for the batting here. I want to see whether the remaining, 15 deliveries are done or not. Because at this point, I'm really, really worried about Bhaskar. Because 126 for 9, if he gets just taken down now, 127 is a very, very easy score for Bahut Marunga, especially in 10 overs. And look at him, he is playing those ground shots very carefully. Bhaskar does get a double for himself, and 128 will be the score after 7.4 overs.
Well, it's really going to be. Oh, that was an interesting try at a shot. Not the best selection though, but a try at this point is all that Bhaskar can do. He does not have enough wickets. He basically has zero wickets in his hand, because if he drops one more, it's going to be game over for him. And a score of this caliber in 10 overs is going to be very, very achievable for Bahut Marunga.
Well, plus, if you can recall what happened in the quarters, is that 126 that was secured by Bhaskar in 5 overs. Bahut Marunga knows that he can get it done in 10 no matter what. Now 132 for 9, and you can see he is being very calm now. Bhaskar playing those ground shots over and over again. That's a very, very smart move there, coming in for the first delivery of the 9th over. He does take it up in the air. Well, it's going to be a wicket or not. Well, it's going to be a wicket, and that's it. Bhaskar, you are done and dusted with your batting streak here. Well, how many runs does Bhaskar secure? It's 132 that he gets on board at the loss of 10 wickets in 8.1 overs. And now, Bahut Marunga just has to make 133. Kanav, easy or not?
I think that he's trying to start in with the middle order. That's interesting. So I think he's going to be playing this slow. He's not going to be trying to hit those big shots right out of the bat. He knows he needs to only manage 13 runs per over, which is not too high, considering we have seen people hit 26, 30 runs in an over. So yeah, 13 runs and over is not going to be impossible, and as long as he keeps wickets in his hand, he's going to make sure that he will be able to make a lot of pressure on the side of Bhaskar.
Well, that's the reason he's going in for those ground shots, and that's a beautiful strike through the fielders there, and he gets a 4. Well, good start to Bahut Marunga, no doubt about that, considering that Bhaskar had lost the first wicket in the first ball. And talking about it, the second delivery coming in from the side of Bhaskar, Bahut Marunga, he is looking to be very, very frisky. Another ground shot, he's going in for a single or a double, because, like you said, 13 runs per over, not a very difficult task to do.
Well, there you go. That was a double coming in, as Bahut Marunga already on 6 runs for this over. And yeah, again going in for that Yorker. A good placement, but again, all that Bahut Marunga needs to do is play those ground shots, make sure he doesn't give his wicket away, and he's just trying to go in for those doubles. He's playing this really, really smart.
8 runs after 3 balls. I'd say it's okay, but he needs to hit those 4s as well, because even if you get doubles out of 6 balls, you'll be able to get just 12 runs. So you need to hit at least 1 4 or a 6 to get you high up in and in a positive run rate compared to Bhaskar as well. Bhaskar, however, he's trying to go in and bait him out in those high lofted shots there. Well, that's a beautiful and a huge shot getting played there, and Bahut Marunga does get a 6 in his scoreboard. 14 for 0 in 0.4 deliveries. That's a huge, huge sixer coming in from the side of Bahut Marunga.
Well, that's already more than the number of runs he needs for this particular over. But there you go, another ball coming in, and a smart shot being played by Bahut Marunga. He's trying to go in for that second run. Will he be able to reach that? Yes, he will. That's not going to be an out, as that's going to be 16 runs for this over. One last ball left. Let's see how this field placement is going to be helping out the side of Bhaskar.
Well, I think it's definitely going to be the side, of Bahut Marunga, who has, who has a better advantage. But still, after 1 overs, you're able to secure 18 runs, if I'm not mistaken. And that's a good score, I think, compared to, okay, 17 runs compared to Bhaskar's run rate that he has secured for himself. Bahut Manuka definitely trying to make it up for, a good run rate in every over that he has.
Well, yes, there you go. It's going to be. Oh, there you go. He will make his way back in to the crease right before anything happens. But I just feel that for the side of Bhaskar, this was a big mistake that he has made, as that's going to be a six. It's going to be Bahut Marunga just going ham. 25 runs on the board, 1.2 overs. Does not look good for him.
Well, no doubt about that. 25 for Bahut Marunga doing a strong job out here. 1.2, and it's going to be a free run coming in from that wide as well. Bahut Marunga, he is playing this calm, cool, and confident, and he's not looking to give up wickets as well. I believe if he gets on to 60 or 70 without losing any wickets, he's gonna hit those shots there. However, he does hit another in just this delivery. 32 for 0 in 1.3 overs, Kanav. This is a very, very strong score that he has built up for himself.
Well, yes, there you go. It's going to go right over the fielders' heads for a 4. And Bahut Marunga is living up to his name. I mean, what a way to start this innings off for himself.
Well, 36, and he's just hitting those shots. He's going on hitting and hitting and hitting. 42 now, Kanav. Come on, 42 for 1.5 overs. Is there going to be another sixer? I want a wicket. Personally, now I want a wicket getting down there from the side of Bahut Marunga.
Well, that's going to be a ball that will be a wide. So, not really the, as you can say, best thing that can happen for the side of Bhaskar, but it is what it is. He really can't do anything about it right now.
Well, another 4, and the score just goes on increasing. Bhaskar, he should be concerned. If I were him, I'd probably get up from my chair and start scratching my head as to what can I do to stop this man here. Bahut Marunga going up stronger and stronger. Bhaskar not being able to retain his form is something that he needs to be concerned about. 2.1 overs, 49 for 0 already. That's huge coming in from the side of Bahut Marunga.
Yes, exactly. I think that the field placement needs to get changed, and yes, indeed, it will get changed by Bhaskar. I think that Bahut Marunga has this in the bag, though.
I don't know, Kanav. Personally speaking, I'd say Bhaskar, he needs to get a hold of the game, because as for now, he doesn't have any control, and that's a huge, dive save coming in from the side of Bhaskar. He does get to save it, but it's already 51 for him.
Well, yes, the 50 comes up, and 133 being the target. All that Bahut Marunga needs to do is get 72 runs on the board with all 10 wickets in hand and just 2 overs done. This is basically looking like a game that is already done. Now, what can you say? It just feels that the way he is playing, he does not want to give his wicket away. He wants to win by 10 wickets, so he's just going to be playing this safe. And yeah, that's exactly what he's doing, playing those runs when he needs to and playing those big shots when he can.
I think it's a smart move, Kanav, because nothing's better than the smart play here. Bahut Marunga definitely hitting insane level of shots, and it's just 3 overs, and he's already reaching that 20.0 run rate. Well, that's the final delivery coming in. That's a huge counter shot coming in from him, and he does get a double onto his hands as well. So that's 61 for 0, and a huge innings for coming in, at least now, from the side of Bahut Marunga.
Well, I think that with 61 on the board and 3 overs left, or rather 3 overs done, this is going to be extremely difficult for Bhaskar to get back from. And, just 2 runs being played all the time. I think that Bahut Marunga is playing this very smart. I've said that before, but, this is just interesting. He knows he has it in the bag, doesn't want to over push it.
based on the required run rate, considering considering 0-0 on the scoreboard, it was just 13.33, I believe, and it's already at that point where we can safely say that Bahut Marunga is way beyond that point, because 65, this was supposed to be after the end of 5 overs, but he has done it just in a mid 4 overs. So that's a huge play coming in. The third delivery of the fourth over will be from the side of Bhaskar. He hits a ground shot. Bahut Marunga trying to go on for a 4. Well, it's going to be a clean boundary from his side.
Well, that's going to be 69 runs on the board and a half century for Sky. He scored 53 runs out of the 69. So, well, that's not good news for Bhaskar.
Well, that's definitely not good news for Bhaskar. He is losing the calm here as he gives off another free run onto Bahut Marunga. 70 for 0. 3.3 overs getting done here. Well, 3 more balls. If he can hit 80, the Bahut Marunga, he will be having an insane play. That's another wide. It's already 71. You are, I believe, kind of what should be going on in Bhaskar's mind at this point, because I believe he's losing control of the match, and that is really affecting his play as well.
That is true, and there you go. It's going to be another 4, and Bahut Marunga is just on fire right now. 75 runs on the board, not a single wicket dropped, and Bhaskar, he is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Well, he definitely is going to be in a lot of trouble. Like, look at him, Bhaskar. He is doing a good job making those, fields happen. But then in the end, there's always a double coming in. However, this time it's going to be a single. And this over, it has given off, I believe, for 12, 13 runs already. So that's, 15 runs already, considering those wides, and another 4. Well, 19 runs in a single over. Well, he's just increasing the run rate, talking about Bahut Marunga.
Well, yes. I mean, I think that it just feels like 80 runs on the board, and it just feels that the way that Bahut Marunga is going about this, he knows exactly what is happening.
That's true, because taking those doubles slow and calm, taking those 4s and 6ers when he needs to, that's exactly what he's trying to do. Well, that comes in as the second delivery of the fourth came, quite a fast ball getting played there. The fielders will be there. However, I think it's going to be a very clean double that comes in from the side of Bahut Marunga.
I agree. I think that the doubles are really what are keeping Bahut Marunga in the game, and he's not looking to stop those anytime soon. 4.2 overs done, another wide ball. That's not what Bhaskar needs right now. It looks like the steam is slowly running out.
Possibly, but 85 is a good score, right? And he hits the shots here. He's trying to go in for a big play, and it's going to be a 4, no doubt about it. 89 for 0 after 4.3 overs. You can see the pace that Bahut Marunga is trying to maintain has been done good, and in a very positive way there. 11 more runs. He's going to be into the 100 already. 3 more deliveries. Let's see how he plays it out. Well, he's gonna leave it because it's a wide ball, and look at him. He's already on the 90. 3 more deliveries. Kind of easy, I believe, 100 coming in this over.
Yep, it looks like Bhaskar has this in the bag. And there you go. It's going to be another cut, and that will result in a 4. As I think I know the plan that Bahut Marunga is trying to go for. He's trying to go for that win with 10 wickets in the bag. He wants to assert his dominance here because he knows the position that he is in. The position so strong that another cover drive is going to make sure it's going to go for a 4.
Well, it is going to go for a 4 here. 4.5 overs done here. Last delivery coming in. I believe it's going to be a double at least, because it needs to be to maintain the pace of the game. Well, he does get it off onto a very strong play. It's not going to be a double. It's going to be a 4 here. 102 after 5 overs. Well, kind of if this continues, I think it's safe to say that the match may be over, and it's a free hit. All right.
Okay. That's 5 runs for free. and the ball for free on a ball that you cannot get out. We're definitely going to be seeing something big. Yep, there you go. It's going to go all the way into the stand. That's going to be a six. So that's essentially 11 runs in one ball.
109 for 0. Kind of 5 overs done. Is it the sixth over or the seventh over that's gonna, end the match here? Because I'm concerned. He's playing so slow. He hasn't yet lost a wicket. It's so, impressive to watch that. In spite of having such a crucial match in front of you, you haven't yet lost one wicket. 111 for 0, 5.1 overs getting done. Bhaskar needs to get a hold of those wickets here. He needs to get at least one player down. Well, he's not going to be able to do it, as it's going to be another boundary. 115, 5.1 overs getting done.
Well, it's a very tough position that you see Bhaskar in right now. He really does not have any wiggle room at all. He's going to be in a position where anything. Well, there you go, another great cover drive is going to make it worse as 119 rolls up. I think it's game over at this point, Price.
3 more balls. Come on, let's make it happen. Let's see it finishing in the 6th over itself. Well, I don't think it's going to be, or maybe it is, maybe it's not going to be, maybe it is. Well, that's a clean save coming in from the side of Bhaskar. 121, no doubt about it. The double will be there. I have seen, I believe, the most doubles in the entire 3 games that we have witnessed this evening, and 5.4 overs, 121. Clean sheet getting maintained by Bahut Marunga. Not a wicket, Kanav, and that's 125.
Well, another drive, another 4, and 125 in 5.5 overs. So, at this point, if it goes into the 7th over, doesn't really matter. Well, that's going to be another 4. The same shot getting repeated again and again. And Bhaskar, I mean, you really are in a spot just, a boundary away from losing this. And Bahut Marunga might just pull off this final in the greatest way possible. Well, there you go. It's going to be a drive. It's going to go all the way to the boundary, as that is going to be it. The finals are going to be won by Bahut Marunga, and Bhaskar is going to be your runner-up. And Bahut Marunga won by 10 wickets.
Not something you see very often, kind of, because I think this is one of those days that we can safely say that yes, esports definitely it's going up high in the charts, because the way Bahut Marunga played, absolutely magnificent. Along with that, sustaining with the meaning of his name, I think it's something that has really amazed everyone out here, getting done by this young lad.
Well, that's true. I think that just finishing this off in how many overs it takes, but finishing it off without losing a single wicket, that's something that is very, very impressive. And you have to agree that irrespective of what you do, it was Bahut Marunga who really had that advantage, because once the toss was won, he chose to bowl first. We already could kind of predict what was trying to go in. He knew Bhaskar was going to play those big shots. He knew that Bhaskar would not live it out to all of those 10 overs, and his fielding placement was right. His field placement was actually pretty good, and he was able to make that out, make the playstyle of Bhaskar work against him perfectly. And hats off to Bahut Marunga. He played that smart, and at the end of the day, brains over bronze.
Well, choosing, the bowling in the first innings is a very smart play that I have seen by this young lad, and he did it perfectly both the times. Like in the first game, still in the semi-finals too, like he was a bit, I'd say, racky about his game. But look at the cleanness of the finals here. Like, who could have thought the finals was going to be so clean? Not a wicket lost, not a mistaken shot getting played, and it's a perfect scoreboard, because 133 was the target. He hit exactly that mark.
I agree. I think that it really just focused on Bahut Marunga just trying to counter-stract the way that Bhaskar wanted to play. It didn't matter to him whether the score was 130, whether the score was 150, 170. All he knew was that he had to get Bhaskar out before the 10 overs got done. And after that, all he had to do was play those doubles, knew exactly how many runs he needed per over, and yeah, that was it. Well, that is actually going to be it for this season's World Cricket Championship 3 in association with Sky Esports Cricket Championship. So we are going to be catching with you guys in the next season of this, which is going to be in April. Well, April's already started, but we are going to be starting that season off pretty soon as well. So till then, this is going to be me, Kanav, and Captain Price signing off. It was great casting for this game, and we will see you around in the next time.